Welcome to X Games Explained. I'm Scotty Cranmer. I'm a 9-time X Games medalist in BMX Park. I know exactly what it takes to get on the X Games podium. So today in X Games Explained, we're going to be blueprinting the techniques and strategies for the top BMX competitors. So let's jump right into BMX Street. BMX Street is the most technical of all the BMX events at X Games. The course features urban elements such as stairs, ledges, and handrails. BMX Street at X Games has largely been about one rider, Garrett Reynolds. But over the past year, the momentum has changed, leaving gold medal room for riders such as Kerley and Donnakey. Street is a continually evolving genre of BMX riding, and sometimes a new rider can leave even the top pros scratching their heads at the progression. Kerley is one of the few riders to beat Garrett Reynolds in the X Games Street competitions. He is also a close friend and riding buddy of Garrett. For Chad to return to the top of the podium, he's going to want a course that links up its ledges and rails. Chad's riding style is so technical, his ability to combine tricks together is unlike anybody else on the course. And he's able to do huge tricks at the same time. He's not scared to jump to flat, like this truck driver off of the quarter pipe to flat, completely avoiding the transition. Now a truck driver is when you do a 360-degree spin with your body and your bike, but you also spin the handlebars a full rotation as well. To land that flat with that kind of impact is so difficult to keep your momentum going in your run. Chad is so well-rounded when it comes to riding street. He has the ability of doing the big tricks and the small tricks and the technical tricks all combined into the same line sometimes. Look at his bar spin to manual to bar spin to ice pick grind that he did for his gold medal run. So as you can see, Chad starts things off with a bar spin, but he lands in a manual, which is when you ride on the back wheel solely, and it's like doing a wheelie, but it's without pedaling. It's all about balance. But landing in this manual, that's a very risky trick to do in a competition because you have to balance this trick. If the front wheel drops, it's over. As he holds the manual, he continues on with another bar spin out of it into an ice pick grind down the rail. An ice pick grind is when you use solely the back peg to grind down a rail, which is basically like doing a manual but only on the back peg down the rail. Chad also has a unique ability to bring traditional street riding into the contest format. On the flat ledge out of the bend, Chad does a 180 to backwards feeble, to Smith, to 180 switch Smith, all on that short ledge. It's crazy to think that he was able to squeeze that all in. So you can see he solely uses his back peg on the first grind with his front wheel elevated. Then he switches to his front peg and his rear wheel elevated. Then he does a full 180 to a Smith with the front peg on there, but this time it's on his opposite side and the back wheel is elevated as well. Kerley's ability to combine technical lines, style, and consistency is unlike anything I've ever seen on the street course. Hailing from Scotland, Donnakey grew up riding BMX Street in the confines of a skate park, but has forged his own path forward with innovative video parts and technical tricks. Donnakey has further made a name for himself in BMX by proving he is calculated and consistent by winning gold at Sydney X Games.
Donnakey earns his very first X Games medal, and it's gold.
Alex completely blew minds by showing everybody the amount of tricks that he can incorporate into his run at such a high level. His ability to grind on both sides of the bike and his ability to ride the transition as well definitely stood out. This crooked grind combination is a prime example. He's heading to the rail, but he's starting at the bottom. He has plans on going up the rail. And he decided to do a crooked grind up it, meaning that he put his left front peg on the rail, but he also put his right rear peg, making a cross over the top of the rail, which is a very difficult grind. And as he grinded to the top, he actually did a 180 bar spin off of the top of the rail, which is a very technical trick to do mid-contest run. He was able to use the rails and ledges in ways that none of the other riders matched. So this trick is complicated. Alex grinds up the rail using his left pegs. Then he jumps over the rail once he gets to the top of it using his right side pegs. He goes into a Smith grind using his front peg only and his back wheel bouncing on top of the rail. Then he transitions into an ice pick grind to finish the rail using only his back peg, and he 180s out of it. There is so many tricks happening on this rail in such a short amount of time. His ability to be ambidextrous and use both sides of the bike on the rail is what got him to the gold medal. My wildcard rider is Garrett Reynolds. Probably doesn't need an explanation. He still is the guy to beat at every competition he enters, and in last year's X Games, both runs were one trick away from another gold medal. The first one was in Minneapolis, when he did a switch tail up down the stairs and he wasn't able to get back on the bike and ride away from him. He had to put both of his feet down, and that took the momentum out of his run. The second trick is the truck driver over the rail in Sydney. Everything was looking great until he came down to the ground. The impact upset his momentum and his bike actually bounced from underneath of him and he had to put his foot down. Can 2019 be the year that Garrett Reynolds returns to the top?